For exercise P1-8 in CAD 211, I'm going to actually use this exercise to talk about a lot of different commands because there's some things that you can do in here to make your life a lot easier rather than try to locate all the holes and do different things like that. So I'm just going to start by drawing a line, and I'm going to bring that line up 40. I'll bring it in 20, up another 40. We'll bring it back out to the beginning, and rather than actually putting in the 40 dimension, I'm just going to draw it up because I know that I'm going to have to put in that overall dimension anyway. So now I'll draw this line down, straight down here, my last angled line, and then I will close this off. Now I'm going to use the equal constraint to set some things equal. I want this line and this line to be equal. This one and this one should remain equal, and this one should always remain equal. Once I have all of my equal constraints placed, I'm going to go ahead and dimension the overall height, which is 120. I need to dimension this leg here at 70. From the bottom to this point is 100. This one is going to create a driven dimension, so I'll cancel that. So we've got our 70 in here. Our overall is 100. And there are all the dimensions that I need. This is now a finished sketch, so I can click Finish Sketch to finish this particular one. I will extrude this, its thickness of 12 millimeters. Now, so far you haven't learned any new commands, and really it's not new commands, it's different ways of looking at existing commands. I am going to draw a hole, and I'm going to start with this bottom lower left hole right here, and I'll just pick my center point, pick my reference edges. Okay, this one is going to be 20. This one is also 20. It goes through all and has a diameter of 20. So everything 20. It's just 20, 20, and 20. Okay, so I will go ahead and apply that. Now I'm going to cancel out of the hole command, and I'm going to go back to my rectangular pattern. And my feature is going to be the hole. My direction 1 is going to be along this line, but I want to flip it so that the arrow is pointing to the right. There are 2, so I want to make sure that that's 2, and there's 40 millimeters in between. Now I need to add a direction 2, and I'll pick the vertical, and in this case there are 3 with 40 millimeters in between. Now in looking at this, we can see that this hole right here that's going to be created is not there. It's not a necessary hole, but I'm going to go ahead and say OK and bring all that in. Now what I'm going to do is, over here in my browser, I'm going to expand the rectangular pattern, and I'm going to hover over the occurrences, and I can see which holes are which occurrence. And if the one that's cutting out right there, I'm going to left click it, then I'm going to right click and say suppress. What that's going to do is that's going to take that hole out of the pattern. So rather than actually having to locate 5 holes or pattern this hole over to here and then pattern these 2 holes up to here and create a 3rd hole, there's a lot of different ways you can get these holes. But as you can see, by suppressing occurrences, you can just create the whole pattern and turn off the things that you do not need. And with that, that's actually the end of exercise P1-8. Like I said, there's many ways to do it. That's just the way that I chose to show you today.